Sam found her. She passed in her sleep.
So in any of my post-surgical patients, whether it's for cataract or blepharoplasty, we always recommend that they use preservative-free artificial tears. I prefer the Retain MGD tears.
Meibomian gland dysfunction, to me, this is, I believe, going to be one of the most pervasive and probably problematic conditions for a long time.
I certainly didn't invent deodorant, but I changed just about everything about it. As a gynecologist and as a woman, I recognized that women were being overdiagnosed with conditions that they don't have and being overtreated with antibiotics that they don't need. There's a whole industry of feminine hygiene products that target the vagina, and some of them, quite honestly, can undermine a woman's confidence. And I had a suspicion that the odors that happen between our legs, that men get it too, and the vagina really wasn't to blame. So if I can fix that and create a product to eliminate it, then I've like cracked the code on all body odor. So I thought about odor in a very different way and then invested in the proof. So we did some clinical testing to prove that yes, those odors that women experience, men experience them too. And most of the time they happen on the outside of your body. And I felt like screaming that from the rooftops, and that story resonated with our customers.
It really worked. I can go a whole 24-hour shift of responding to fires and medical calls and putting gear on and off and getting really sweaty and no odor whatsoever. It is awesome.
I've not used anything that works this well.
It works perfectly.
This is the most effective natural deodorant backed by clinical testing.
This awesome brand has completely brought my confidence back up. Thank you, Louie.
I'm waiting for somebody to come tap me on the shoulder and go, guess what? This isn't even real. It feels like a fairy tale to me. Most products are in a sea of sameness. It's a version of something else that's on the market. There's never been a product on the market before like Lumi. It's a product that's applied externally, and it works for pits, it works for our feet, and it works between our legs. Anywhere you have odor and wish you didn't, you can use Lumi there.
Not only can you put Lumi under your arms, but you can put it down in your privates.
I even put this on my butt. Whether you have issue uptown or downtown, this is the mark. This has changed my life.
I feel like other than my children, this is the mark that I'm going to leave on the world. I feel like I took a feminine hygiene industry that was disassigning where odors come from when you take your pants down and sit down to, either get undressed or sit down to use the toilet. You're like, what is it that I'm noticing here with my period or after intimacy? I might leak urine when I cough, sneeze, and laugh, and it undermines confidence. It causes hesitation in intimacy. I feel like I've it's really cool that it ended up being the product that cracked the code on body odor everywhere, pits, feet, and privates. I'd like to see Lumi in underdeveloped countries that are underserved and don't have clean water, have access to bathing, because oftentimes girls, when they're on their periods, they're not even allowed to attend school. They can't bathe. They don't have access to proper hygiene products during their period. It literally means they will not be educated. I could just see Lumi changing the world for that reason alone. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
your day, and everything's going to be okay. Today I'm going to be trying a new type of video format. I have one of my viewers here. He's called Clayton Parrish on YouTube, and I'm going to be interviewing him. He's going to be telling me his ideas for improving No Man's Sky. So this is going to be a new type of video where I have a viewer talk to me in the video, and so if you would be interested in doing a video with me, you have to have PlayStation. I have to be able to communicate with you through PlayStation in order for your voice to be heard. But message me in the comments if you would be interested in doing a video with me. But here's Clayton Parrish.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for agreeing to come on, and go ahead and tell me your first idea for No Man's Sky, and I will tell you what I think about it.
Alright, well, a lot of the things that I have written down here are, like, just minor, small changes that I think would improve some of the aspects, things like oceans and caves that go much deeper than they currently do. But I have a few in here that I would like to bring up. Typically, whenever I see, like, a really big mountain in No Man's Sky, the first thing that I think is, I want to get to the top of that. But as it stands right now, climbing things in No Man's Sky is not great. It's just shove your face against the wall and press X. And sometimes even that doesn't work quite right, because it'll process that you're able to stand on the ledge, so you're just repeatedly doing short little jumps with your jetpack against the wall. So I felt like a way to really make that more satisfying for players would be to add an attachment to your multi-tool that would function like spelunking gear, where you could launch a cable up into the side of a cliff or a mountain and climb up to make it a little bit more satisfying, and you could get a lot of really good pictures in photo mode with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If we had some type of grappling hook or something to shoot to climb mountains, that would be so much better, because like you said, going up mountains with just your jetpack is awful. One improvement that they've done lately that has helped with that is the addition of flying mounts, which we just got in the Visions update. So I've been liking that, using flying mounts to get up mountains. Right now I'm getting out a flying mount to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about. But yeah, flying mounts help, but a grappling hook or something like that. A game that I play, I don't know if you've heard about it, Boundless. It's basically a game like Minecraft, but it's MMO and everything. But one of the really nice features that they have in it that Minecraft doesn't have is a grappling hook. You can just shoot it up to a tree and it will like instantly pull you up to it and everything. So yeah, that's a good idea.
This one's just a not huge improvement, but I still felt like it would be much more satisfying. So I'm not really a fan of the fact that a lot of fossils are just sitting right under the surface. So I felt like if they were to, as I mentioned earlier, make the oceans and caves much deeper, I feel like it would be more satisfying to specifically place buried fossils at like the deepest areas of those bodies of water and in caves, so that you really get this reason to explore caves in the ocean.
Yeah, definitely. I've often thought about that for many different resources, such as the resources above ground. When No Man's Sky first came out, resources were like really weird shapes, like giant spheres or giant cubes of resources that we would mine. And then it was kind of a good improvement in the next update when they made resources just what they are now, which is kind of a patch of ore on the surface of the ground that we dig down into. That was a bit of an improvement, but I've always thought it would be way better if we had to dig deep underground in order to get resources. To use Minecraft as an example again, that's what you have to do. You actually mine, you go deep underground in order to find diamonds and iron ore, etc. And that would be, much more realistic how it is in real life. We dig deep underground to mine stuff. We don't just dig up these giant piles of resources right on the surface of the ground. And like you said, it would be really good if fossils and other things were like that. Basically, they should program it so that they would spawn on top of the bedrock, the indestructible ground that we hit if you dig too deep. Make it so that we have to dig down that deep in order to find the fossils right at the bedrock. So yeah, good idea.
That makes a lot of sense, putting it onto the bedrock. I didn't even think of that.
Well, not under the bedrock. Unfortunately, sometimes you get...
These are William Painters, the finest sunglasses ever made, and the last pair you'll ever need. Plus, we give you a full lifetime guarantee. 100 pieces saved. Okay, thank you, friend. Perfect. Revive you, and then, look, friend, probably gonna kill this guy in like a few moments anyway, but like, it's just a general request. Or kill him yourself. You had a long-stood history of just stabbing people in the eye with your staff. So you know what? It's always the healers in Metopia. It's always the healers that are like, no. No, I don't think I will heal. I mean, good God, Erica had a whole little character arc based around that. You need to level up. Well, we're working on it. We're moving along. Like Bill is the bullet bill. There we go. Good job, friend. Another banana consumed towards the goal of eating as many bananas as possible. More. Clerics are surprisingly powerful. Yeah! No, clerics. I know, by the way, that clerics have like, let's go. Clerics have like, some like rage ability. Some like specific ability that's like, oh yeah, this just does 999 damage.
Thank you. This Thursday marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Chinese Communist Party. Under the slogan of Follow the Party Forever, General Secretary Xi Jinping is marking the occasion through a wave of propaganda and triumphalism, especially about the party's earliest days, rewriting history. They're hosting study sessions on party history. Theaters have been ordered to screen propaganda films at least twice a week. And in Wuhan, of all places, the party put on a giant light show where buildings and bridges are being lit up with the hammer and sickle. CCP officials have even set up a website where individuals can report on their neighbors and the, quote, historical nihilists who, quote, defame CCP heroes or deny the excellence of advanced socialist culture. Well, with an invitation like that, and to assist General Secretary Xi Jinping in his commemoration of CCP history, I've introduced a resolution that details the dozens of crimes against humanity from across the last century of the party's history. The point here is to illustrate that the abuses we're seeing from the party today, including the genocide in Xinjiang, think about the fact that we now have two successive administrations, one Republican, one Democrat, have certified that what is going on in Xinjiang province is a genocide. There's not much worse than a genocide. This is not a new phenomenon. Human rights abuses are hardwired into the Chinese Communist Party's very DNA. So I'm thrilled to say we actually have strong bipartisan support for this resolution. Thanks to the work of my colleagues, Representative McCall, Representative Gallego, Gottheimer, Stefanik, Golden, and Fitzpatrick. We have a broad bipartisan group that is united in standing against the CCP's ongoing crimes against humanity. This is a message that all Americans should get behind, and I urge Speaker Pelosi to bring this resolution before the House this week and thereby allow us to send an unambiguous message that we do indeed deny the excellence of advanced socialist culture, and we can lay the CCP's true nature bare for all the world to see. Early in her career, Speaker Pelosi was a very forceful denouncer.
What if we approached furniture from a different angle? At Burrow, our pieces should...
Alright guys, so the New York City mayor race has taken a very, very interesting turn, as it looked like former NYPD police officer Eric Adams, had a strong lead. And then the ranked choice system kind of kicked in, and apparently New York City and their elections board is having some issues, to say the least. Take a look.
To campaign 2021 and turmoil this morning in New York City's mayor race.
City election officials have retracted their latest vote count in the Democratic primary after realizing a huge error had been made. Thousands of test ballots were actually counted along with the actual ballots. CBS's John Diaz joins us live from the Board of Elections headquarters in Lower Manhattan. Hard to believe, John.
Good morning. Yeah, hard to believe indeed. Well, critics, they are calling this one a major mess up. But the Board of Elections saying that it has already, though, removed these test ballots. And right now they are in the process of recounting these votes.
This morning, the counting chaos continues after election officials.
You're going to hear me complaining about a lot. Episode 7 a lot, Episode 8, and the season as a whole. For me, it just felt kind of pointless. Actually, now that I just took a second glance at the final episode, I watched it a couple days ago, but I'm just reviewing it now.
Thank you. This Thursday marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Chinese Communist Party. Under the slogan of "Follow the Party Forever," General...